What's going on? Welcome back. Welcome back to the Chandie Speaks podcast. It's your girl, Chandie. I'm back another week. What a week. I'm actually reporting this live from beautiful Sedona, Arizona. Well, as of late, it's been not so beautiful. Sedona, Arizona. And, I know you guys really love my weather reports, but I think this is an important weather report. Sedona's been kind of smoked out from this pocket fire. That's like crazy big news, I think. The biggest news this past week, and it's been like trickling down into everything. This fire, I'm sure you guys have seen it all over the place, but just in case me personally, I've been seeing a lot of fake news. And I know it's fake news. I'm not just saying that as like, some kind of conspiracy theorist. I know it's fake news because I live here. I'm here. I live here in Sedona, Arizona. So take it from a true. And you guys know I've been here in Sedona for almost a year now. I'm trying to pull out a whole year doing van life. I'm recording this from my van. Welcome. That's my intro. Yeah, what day is it? I got off work. I still haven't been asleep. I have to go to sleep tonight. I have to go to work tonight. I still haven't been asleep since I got off work this morning. But today is Tuesday, June 30th. It's the last day of June. And tomorrow is going to be the first day of July. We're through June. But for the last, it's been like 10 days. This has been like a 10-day thing, at least since I've known about it. Since the 18th. Or Juneteenth, since June 19th, this fire, I don't even know, I still don't know how it broke out, but it basically broke out within the canyons in the area. So the most affected areas from this fire's in the canyons, which is like in the beautiful red rocks themselves, where all the beautiful like campgrounds are and cabins and resorts and all kinds of like nature stuff. We get a lot of heavy tourism just so people can go into the canyons. These hikes, the infamous hikes you see on Instagram, like the Birthing Cave or the Devil's Bridge, those are all closed. All of these famous hikes and beautiful areas are closed because this fire is just apparently still, right as of right now, 0% containment. So I think this is obviously... they're planning on letting it burn, or they're trying to guide the fire along in some way. But it's kind of like every day, now it's like a thing now that every day I wake up, or every day when I get out of work, I see like the sun rising, and then you see this big, giant cloud of smoke hovering over the beautiful red rocks. To me, it looks kind of, mysterious. It looks kind of cool to me. I know. No one's died, okay? I'm like the only one who's probably not freaking out about this fire. I'm the one who's like, oh, wow, that's kind of majestic when the light hits it a certain way. Oh, look at that smoke. It's from a fire that's burning hundreds, I guess, at this point now, thousands of acres. How do we get a fire? I don't want to go into that because I really don't know the ins and outs of that. But the propaganda posts that I see in Sedona or about it are mostly coming from people who they're sponsored content, or it's coming from people who have like only visited Sedona or just are very fond of Sedona. They're not physically here in the moment. And it's like, send prayers, and, oh my God, such a beautiful place. Well, I'm here to tell you, like, what most people aren't aware of is like, it's been burning for 10 days on purpose. And I'm fine. We're all fine. If anything, it's probably good for Sedona to burn out a little bit. And by burnout, I don't mean like physically like cause damage and there's a lot of evacuations and stuff, but like, just sort of purge itself, because all year round it's a glorious, beautiful place to be, and we have tourism. It's a town that's run on tourism. I know I mentioned this in the last episode, but so yeah, obviously, it's affecting everyone. The fire, it looks really cool. It's not affecting me so much because of the industry that I work in. I work in the hospitality industry. There's some I'm sure it wouldn't have affected me if I stayed in the food industry as well, you know, because we still have local people who live here. Like, the traffic has been great. Can I can I say that? Here's another traffic report from Sedona. It's actually been the best that I've ever seen. And keep in mind, like, I've never been in Sedona in June or July. We're about to be in July tomorrow by the time this episode goes up. So this is like the first time I'm experiencing like their wildfire season. There's a fires going on in the four corners, all four corners. Arizona is one of those states. Utah is crazy on fire right now. Colorado just be about that life. Colorado gets on fire all the fucking time. Bless their hearts. But, you know, this is my first time experiencing a wildfire outside of Colorado. Really, I've never been in this state. Let me think. Nah, I ain't never been in the state that outside of Colorado that had a fire. I don't know if it's a wildfire, if it's a natural or unnatural fire, but it's been burning for days, and it's causing a very big dip in, you know, our tourism. So, you know, our production and all this stuff that trickle down from that. It's kind of a big deal. This is like, yeah, kind of making history. I'm kind of happy to be a part of it. I know it's sad. And I was talking to a local who's been here for multiple decades. She's an older lady that I work with. She said that, yeah, they have fires right around this time every 2 years in this area. And there's a lot of like old dead things up there that probably needed to burn off. So, you know, it's new to me, but it's like a regular thing for these kind of climates and this region, I guess. It looks kind of cool. I actually put some drone. I've been droning it up. It's been windy as hell. So the wind has been controlling the fire as well. So it's like they're trying to guide it upward away from, you know, the population, like the most people are. And the wind is sort of like saying, hey, no, bring it back this way. So the wind has been sort of affecting. I'm thinking that's why it's still burning, because the wind is kind of getting in the way of that. And also my coworker also told me, my local coworker, she told me there was this one time when there was a fire that was so bad here around this, you know, this area, Arizona, northern Arizona area, that like, I think she said 3 or 4, I think she said 4 firemen were burned alive because they went in to like the forest to try and put out the fire. And I guess the wind had like swooped it up, or like it too fast. And it was like, they knew they were going to die. Like, cause it was coming back too fast. They were just trying to put out this fire, and they went in there, you know, ground level, and they all knew they were going to die. So they all like got under a tarp and made their last phone call to their like wives and their loved ones. It's kind of fucked up. It was really fucking sad. And they all burned alive, like from the fire, from like one of these fires out here in this desert, this crazy fucking desert. Highly do not recommend Sedona during June. 0 stars. I give it 1 star because it's gorgeous. I'll put some drone clips in this episode on the video version of it, but I've been taking a lot of drone videos. I have a photography page. I'm just going to plug a couple of my socials because I don't really have anything else to talk about this week. I have a photography page where I post my drone photography and my videos and all that stuff. It's on Instagram, Lenses by Luna. I'm also on Facebook, Lenses by Luna, LENSESBYLUNA. Go check out some of my drone footage of these, of this pocket fire. It's kind of sick. No one's hurt. The tourism has gone down. The traffic has gone down. I'm coming off of a 7-day. This is actually my Friday. It's Tuesday right now. I'm coming off of this is like a 7-day work week because, the fires kind of affected so a lot of people have been taking vacations. There's that, but there's also people calling out because they were getting sick. I'm like the most reliable person, so yeah, I somehow agreed to work 7 consecutive days. This is my 7th day, and I haven't slept since I got off work. So I'm just going to try and push through this podcast, but this whole week we were fully booked. People were basically being evacuated from the canyons resorts, the travelers, the tourists, and pushed into our hotels. I work in a hotel, and yeah, it's just been nonstop something going on. People, you know, asking where to go, how can they do anything, what's there to do if you can't go into the canyons. You know, Sedona's Red Rocks is like that hot chick with like you know, like a great personality or something, or like big boobs. It's like, you were just staring at my tits this whole time. There's more to my personality than like my physical appearance. That was a weird way of me saying it. I know. I'm kind of tired. But yeah, Sedona is so much more than the postcard view and all these trendy Instagram posts. And I'm actually happy. I'm really happy that I get to experience sort of a natural disaster and no one's really affected by it. And yeah, I mean, there are places that are shut down. There are roads that are shut down. There are people who have evacuated, but no one's really dying. Okay, no, everyone's gonna be okay. The traffic has been amazing. I cannot stress that enough. Great time to be a local in Sedona. Just saying. Tourism, not so much, because all the cool spots are closed. You're gonna actually have to get creative and maybe go out and meet people at a normal spot, like go to somewhere that's not hashtagged on Instagram. Okay, so that was my Sedona Fire segment. I hope the sound quality on this episode sounds good. I hope I don't sound too unenthused, crazy tired, pushing through. Okay, what I'm gonna do at the end of this episode is it's been a while. I'm gonna throw in a clip because I really am tired, straight up. It's been a while since I've thrown in a clip. By clip I mean, for all you 90s kids, you guys know back in the day when like shows were kind of running out of ideas or they were in between seasons and they throw in an episode which was basically like a clip of their previous episodes. They called it the clip episode, and that's how sort of when that like the show wasn't really doing so hot or they were maybe just taking a break. Some shows were just taking a break, but most of the time it's like that was like the defining moment, like, okay, they're running out of ideas, so they're just throwing in like they're doing a show of their other shows. This is kind of like that, but not really. This is like, by clip episode for me, it's like I have hundreds of recordings in my phone that they're like voice diaries for me, and I sort of record them with the intention of never having anyone else hear them. And sometimes I'll play them back after like years. This goes back to like 2022. I have like hundreds of recordings on my phone. Some of them are just me like mumble jabbering, yelling. Some of them are just me singing. Some of them are me just venting, so I'll go back and I'll listen to these clips and I'll be like, it's been a long enough time and nothing is really like incriminating in there. It's just me sort of venting. And at this point, it's me just trying to fill in space because I got nothing really. I can end the podcast right now because that's really the biggest thing going on in my life is that I work in the hospitality industry and there's a fucking fire in Sedona right now where I work. So I'm going to throw in that clip at the end. And that clip I found, it's from actually June of 2025. It was like right around the end of June this time last year. Funny, because before I do these podcasts, I'm so ADD right now. Before I do these podcasts and like hit the record button, I actually do like a pre-podcast recording. And this was probably before I even had my good microphones. I don't even think I got my good microphones until I came to Sedona. So this was way back in Georgia when I was about to record a podcast, remembered that I need to record a podcast. So I recorded like a pre-podcast, which was like me just sort of venting about something that I wouldn't talk about that week or that time on the podcast because of whatever energy that I didn't want to put out. Well, right now, I'm in Sedona. The recording was made in Georgia, and it's about me like venting about some guy at this job that I worked in Georgia. So it's irrelevant. No one's going to be hurt by it. It's probably, got nothing to do with this episode in its entirety, but I felt like it was kind of entertaining. I had a couple gems that I dropped in there. Maybe some people would get a good laugh or a good dose of knowledge or something. Or maybe it's just, like I said, it's just that extra space I'm trying to fill in because I'm being lazy right now. I literally don't care. 0 fucks, but thank you for listening this far. So I'll throw that in at the end. But before I get out, okay, so I talked about the fire. That's really the biggest fucking thing. I'm going to stop recording this right now and then start recording again because this beautiful computer just records. It records great, but it takes so much space and it takes forever to upload. It takes forever to like move it from one space to the other and then upload on all the platforms. And that's why, if you guys noticed, my episode for last week was like a day late because it was uploading for a day because I just recorded it the whole way through, like a whole hour. So I'm going to just stop here at 15 minutes and then pick it up again, send it over. Maybe that'll help me get this uploaded on time. All right, just being on the safe side there. Yeah, there's a couple things that was in the news this week, but I literally don't have enough information, and it all kind of seems scripted. I'm just going to briefly go over my notes here because I did write it down. There's this thing called CERN. Like, you guys know I'm ignorant, okay? I'm totally ignorant. I should not be your main news source. I should be like your entertaining news source. If you want it from like a real person who I literally don't know or care about half the shit that I'm talking about right here. But there's this thing called CERN. Apparently there's like this big machine, from my understanding, that is in Switzerland somewhere underground, that they're basically trying to like make like a simulate or a reenactment of the Big Bang with this machine. Okay, so to me, this is like the first time I've ever fucking heard of this, okay? Now, really, the first thing that comes in my mind when I hear something like that is I'm tired of the internet. It's just, I'm tired of the internet. That's enough internet for me. Where did I get that information that now I just have? It's just in my brain. What am I going to do with this information? Now I have to go deep dive on this. And I did, of course, like not really deep dive. Like I said, I don't have enough information about it. But yeah, my first thought after even learning about that existence a couple days ago, which was like, there's too much internet. Information is spreading way too fast. And that's why we're in the situation that we're in. And I don't even know what that situation is right now. Like, I can't even really define it right now. But we all know what it is. It's like, it's just too much. I feel like it's just going a little too fast. So yeah, in a nutshell, from like, an ignorant person's, point of view or perspective, there's this machine that they have to like, I guess, reset every so often. And there's like the script that's going around. It's kind of sounding like a script. There's a script that's going around that's saying that, oh, every time they reset this machine, we like hop timelines, or there's like a glitch in the matrix, or like major catastrophic events happen around the world. They're like, remember what happened last time type shit. And I'm like, no, I don't remember what happened last time. Life has just been lifing for me. And when shit feels like it's different, then shit just feels different. So now that's another thing that I gotta like think about and stuff. And I'm just like, I don't want all this information. I don't want all of us to have access to all of this information all the damn time. Do I sound ignorant? So they're shutting down this machine so they can advance it, so they can basically get better at making the Big Bang. Why is that a need? Why are we creating alternate? It seems like some some shit that I'm like, I know if I go and unpeel the layers of all this, I know I'm not going to like it. I don't even know what the fuck that means. Now people who have no idea what any of this means, now we're all smart. Like I said, we all sound smart now that we know about some fucking whatever it is. I don't know. We'll see. I guess we'll see. I guess a future version of myself. I'm actually kind of happy that I make these recordings because it's like they are kind of like little timestamps in history, I know I'm sounding like I'm not talking about anything relevant now, but I'll be looking back on some shit. I'm like, I knew something, but I didn't know what I didn't know. So, yeah, okay. Well, that's all, folks. That's really it. I'm gonna get into this J. Cole Fall Off Weekly Review. I guess some good news is that because of all this overtime that I've been working at my hotel this week, that I'm planning on booking my international trip a lot sooner than later, which is good news. Yeah, I planned on booking it sometime in September. I might be booking it sometime before that. So I'm really excited about that. I had a couple repairs with my car this week. I had to take my van in to get an oil change, and in the oil change, of course, they find other shit that they gotta fix. So I got a couple things fixed on my van, so that cost some money. I think I got, what was it? The power steering. I got power steering fluid, and I got my oil pan gasket. I got a new oil pan gasket, brand spanking new. Okay, I didn't even know that bitch was leaking. And they said that my brakes were bad, but I'm going to get a second opinion on that because they're trying to charge me $1,000 for the front and the rear brakes. So there's that. But I'm thinking after I get all that sorted away, get my van into like, that peace of mind place, I'll be booking that flight pretty fucking soon. And you guys, I know I've been talking about Egypt. I think I'm going to keep it a surprise where I'm going to be booking it. I'm going to wait until a later episode to talk about where, because I'm pretty sure it's going to be coming up pretty soon. Not too soon, but pretty soon. That's just how it is. But in good news, I got this mosquito net. You can't see it because I don't have a video version and you're just listening, but I got this mosquito net, well, a DIY mosquito net, because they were actually trying to charge way too much money for a goddamn, like, I wanted a screen door for my van so I can have my door open. I'm chilling in my van. My car is off and I'm chilling in my van. It's been like this for about a week now since my last podcast. That's probably really big news on the home front, is that I opted out of getting like an actual like screen door thing. They were like $80 and up. Ridiculous. For a ProMaster, ridiculous. I'm like, I can probably make my own fucking screen door. So I did. I have like a little bootleg version of a screen door and it's been working. No bugs have been getting in. I have shade. I got my ceiling fan. It's great. My dog is passed the fuck out. She's chilling. I'm actually comfortable in my van in June in the desert. All I needed to do was just suffer for a few weeks into motivating myself to just get it done. And it's still kind of half-assed done right now. But it's been like a week now. I've been able to sleep in my van in the daytime in June in Arizona. You know what I mean? All right. Well, this will be the end of the podcast. I'm going to get on out of here. I'm going to throw in that clip. I think it's like a 15-minute clip. Thoroughly entertaining for me. It may not be for you, but if you got this far, thanks for listening. Follow me on TikTok, Instagram. I almost said Space Jam because I'm kind of delirious. Instagram, Space Jam. I'm kind of delirious because I'm lacking sleep right now. I'm a little sleep deprived. Yeah, so it's Chandie Speaks. Let me get into this J. Cole Fall Off Weekly Review. I have some, if you're not a hip-hop fan or J. Cole fan, this is the end of the podcast. But I have some interesting news this week because you guys know I'm not really much of a Kendrick Lamar fan. I have some Kendrick Lamar. It's kind of J. Cole-related news, kind of. But yeah, I have some interesting news this week. I heard a song by Kendrick Lamar. I'm not that much of a Kendrick Lamar fan. See, my thing is I just think he's overhyped. That's it. I think I'm like resisting liking him. Every song that I've played by Kendrick Lamar, he's on some of my playlists. He's on some of my playlists. Okay. Or some of his songs are on my hip hop playlist. He makes good music. I'm resisting liking him because I feel like he's overhyped. I feel like everyone is liking him, but I don't think it's sort of authentic. I have my conspiracies about, really, they're all kind of inauthentic. Even J. Cole in a way, But yeah, I just feel some kind of way where I'm just sort of resisting like being on some Kendrick Lamar like fan wagon thing. So I feel like he's having to work extra hard for my approval, I guess. And hey, maybe that's just how it is. He's the only American of the top three of him, Drake, and J. Cole. He's the only one who was born in America. I know I talked about that before. But one Kendrick Lamar song this week actually made me cry. I know there's probably some Kendrick Lamar fans out there who probably are going to say, well, if you actually listen to any of his songs, he's actually very deep. And I'll give him that. I'll give him some writing skills. I'll give him musically. I'll give him his props. I'm just not going to be a dick writing fan. I'm sorry. He's all right to me. I mean, when I think about J. Cole, or when I think it's just J. Cole. I can't think of another favorite rapper who's in the same caliber right off the top of my head right now. Twista, just because I'm from Chicago. But yeah, The song was called Mother I Sober. Actually, I only listened to it that one time. I think I played it twice, and it almost made me cry. It didn't actually make me cry. It almost made me cry. But the guy's got some good writing skills. I'll give him that. I don't know why I resist him. I don't know why I resist him so hard. But yeah, I'm pretty sure that if I actually got down and listened, I just don't want to mess up my algorithm for this year. But in 2027, I'm going to do actually a full album playback of all of Drake's albums and all of Kendrick Lamar's albums. And I'll even do J. Cole's albums all the way through, even though I always listen to his albums. Like this year, it's just been nothing but J. Cole. But I'll do a full album listen through next year because I don't want to mess up my J. Cole stats for this year. 2026 is the year for the fall off, the J. Cole. So because yeah, I'm confident that Kendrick Lamar will actually be thoroughly entertaining. He'd move me, and he may actually influence me and inspire me, and all the great things that J. Cole does whenever I listen to his music. There's another song that I forgot that Kendrick Lamar actually did with Drake. I like actually going back. It seems so like long ago now, but I actually like going back and listening to these songs. Poetic Justice. You guys remember Poetic Justice with Drake and Kendrick Lamar? It was one of my favorite fucking songs. This is before I was even like a hardcore like anybody fan. I just love that song. It had the Janet Jackson sample in it. And Kendrick Lamar's verse, the second verse at the end of the song, basically brought me into tears. This past time when I listened to it, but I know that song has made me cry before on his verse, that second verse that Kendrick Lamar raps. What'd he say? Hold on, let me remember a bar real quick. Oh my God. That's your heartbeat. It either called me or it caught me. Hold on. He said something else. It was a better bar I can think of. A fatal attraction is common, and what we have common is pain. Ooh. I'm sorry. That verse was, that was a good ass verse. So that was just me giving my little couple flowers to Kendrick Lamar. But let me get into these J. Cole stats. Oh, big J. Cole news this week. Apparently, and I don't know if any of this matters, but the fall off officially fell off of the Billboard after 18 weeks. Which I call major cap. But at the same time, not really major cap. I call like half cap because it's not that people aren't listening to it. It's just that it's not listening to in like, I think people are listening to the album. I just don't think they're listening to it every day. I don't know. The numbers, we'll see the Spotify Wrapped at the end because I listen to the fall off every single day. There's not a single day that goes by. So 18 weeks just seems kind of low for me. I would have sworn that he would have at least stayed on the Billboard. Not that any of that shit matters to me. Like, I don't follow any of these stats or numbers or anything. And I'm pretty sure, or at least I would like to believe that J. Cole doesn't really care about the numbers or stats either. Hence why the fall off actually fell off the Billboard. You see what I did there? And, that's why J. Cole's really one of my favorite rappers. Really. That's why he's the GOAT. That's why he's my favorite rapper, because he doesn't give a fuck about that. He gives a fuck about the music and the hip-hop. And real hip-hop fans know. And I feel like him falling off basically after Iceman dropped shows that, he doesn't care about, numbers or staying relevant. But it also shows that people don't really appreciate real hip-hop. And I hate to sound like that, but if Drake is doing what Drake does. He's doing all kinds of stuff now that I hardly even feel like reporting on. But it's basically attention grabby stuff, good or bad attention grabby stuff. And he's playing the game. He knows how to play the game. I'll give Drake that. And even with all of that, the music, is not good. Compared to me, the music, it's not good. It does not stand close to the fall off. So, it just shows where we are musically, I think. We were there for a little bit, and then the Iceman dropped and all these theatrics and shit. And they're just playing the game, and I'm not interested in the game. I'm interested in the music, and that's why I love J. Cole. So let me get into these stats. Yeah, that's just wild. I think it just shows that no one really knows about what hip hop is anymore, or they're just waiting. They're waiting for a real GOAT to fall off so that they can get back to their fuckery, which is just making bad new hip hop music, call it bad music, calling it hip hop. I you know what? If I can constructively critique the fall off before I get into my numbers, I'm going to do this because I like to be honest. If I can constructively critique the fall off of first listen, I was not really enthusiastic or not really interested in all the singing. I don't really understand where the switch happened where rappers started singing and still calling it rap. Okay. I think, does rap include singing and hip hop is hip hop? Because I thought they were one and the same, but I guess they're very different. I don't know. Or maybe they are one and the same, but I don't understand where the singing became classified as rap or hip hop. And I remember when Kanye came out with 808s and Heartbreak. In my opinion, 808s and Heartbreak was Kanye West's most underrated album. It's my favorite Kanye West album to this day, 808s and Heartbreak. Love it. And when it came out, this was after the college dropout, was it after graduation? I think it was late registration. I think it was after graduation. 808s and Heartbreak was is experimental. It's one of his first experimental albums. When it came out, people were kind of big mad about it back then. But to me, it's a classic. It was his first experimental album, and I love it to this day, 808s and Heartbreak. The whole album is done in auto-tune, if you didn't know. And people were not okay with that. But I've always fucking loved it. I remember going to the CD store, going into Best Buy and buying that CD, and then I lost it or I left it somewhere, and I went back to that Best Buy and I bought it twice. I bought it a second time because I'm like, I need to have this CD. Such a great album. Would I call it rap? Would I call it a hip-hop album classic? No, I call it a classic music album that's made by a traditionally hip-hop artist. Like, he mostly raps, but he did this album. I wouldn't call that a rap album, even though he's rapping on it. He's singing on it a lot. He's mostly singing on it. So I love that album. I'm not critiquing the album. I'm just saying I'm going to call a spade a spade. The Fall Off first listen sort of gave me that vibe of I expected to hear bars, just nothing but bars, rap, hip hop, pure, authentic, coal. You know what I mean? And every other song, it felt like every other song. I can actually go down the track list right now, just constructively criticizing the Fall Off. And go off the whole track list right now and see how many songs on the album involved him harmonizing or singing. I had to stop recording and start again. I love the Fall Off. Let's just keep it real. Okay, we all know, based off of my stats from ever since I discovered the Fall Off this year, it's been my number one listening thing. I love the Fall Off. However, off first listen, the whole album in it as a whole had to grow on me. You guys know from how I felt about Safety. Go back to the first time I listened to Safety to right now, because right now it's my everyday song. I start my car, I put on Safety. When I go to the Fall Off, I start with Safety. Now, mind you, this whole rollout, this whole Fall Off is a 2-disc, 24 song. If you take out the intro, 23 songs, and people are saying that it's kind of hard to have 23 songs stay in one place, but I think it's just because the content of his lyrics is just it's heavy. It's kind of heavy, and it's not for everyday listening. I'm not going to lie and say that every time What If comes on that I give it a listen to, because What If is a song about, Tupac and Biggie, if they were still alive, if they actually were cool and they never had beef and shit. And it brings me back to a nostalgic time, and he's a good storyteller. So his music is kind of not meant for just easy listening every single day. I listen to that whole album every day, but yeah, not every time. Sometimes I'll skip these heavier songs. I'm like, let me just get to the songs that that I love, that I can always listen to. So let me go down this track list and just see how many songs he actually sang on. It starts off with 2-6. He rapped, that was a banger, 2-6. Safety, a good boom bap song on the album. Best song on the album. Right now, it's head to head with Bombs in the Ville for me. Really. Best rap song on the album. Bombs in the Ville is a singing song. He raps a little bit at the end, but it's a singing song. Best rap song on the album is Safety. Period. That's crazy, right? Run a Train is a rap song. Poor Thing is a rap song. He starts off really strong on 29 on the whole first disc with rap. Then he starts singing with Legacy. I think half of Legacy is sung. Bless her heart, there's this PJ, the singer, who's on there singing as well at the end. Not really one of my favorite songs on the album. Bunce Road Blues is also like, he's not singing, but half of the song is Thames, who's singing on the back end of the song. Beautiful song. Love that song. A little bit singing. I don't think the singing really comes in. Okay, then we go back to rap with Who the Fuck Is You? We got drum and bass. The Let Out. Okay, The Let Out's probably like the first song that threw me off. I told you guys, I hated, I don't like using that word. I hated The Let Out at first. I literally did not like that song. I could not stand that song at first. And I think a part of it was because of the singing. The singing, the guitar playing. But now it's like those are the best parts of the song. I love that song so much right now. But it's a singing song. It's probably, the top singing song on the whole Fall Off album. Then he keeps singing with Bombs in the Ville. Best song. I've played it hundreds of times. Bombs in the Ville. Goes back to rap with Lonely at the top. Maybe I was just exaggerating. 39 Intro. Okay, 39 Intro is a great fucking rap song. Great rap. Like flawless, impeccable rap. But it's like, I think a 7-minute song or something like that. And the first half of the song, he is singing. And it's it gives you like a transy, trippy feeling. It's a beautiful fucking song. I love the fucking song. But he is singing halfway through. And I remember I couldn't even get through the first half of the song of him singing. I didn't get to the masterpiece, which was the rapping near the end of the song, because the singing in the first half was just kind of slow for me at first. Like 39 Intro didn't hit me at first because I couldn't get through it, because I was like, okay, can I get some bars, please? Can I get some rap? But he went off on that song. He went off. That's the best breathwork song on the album. The Fall Off is Inevitable. Great song. The Villist has Erykah Badu in it. That she's singing, he's singing, a little singing. I love that song. The whole album is fucking fire. It's a masterpiece. Old Dog got some singing on there. I still don't really care for Life Sentence. I really don't care for that song. Too many people have redone it. I don't care about DMX. Respectfully, not a big DMX fans. I think that's it. I think I was just exaggerating with all this singing. It was hard for me to get through the Fall Off at first, like half of when he's singing on some of the songs. That's all. I Love Her Again. Great song, but it's one of those songs that sometimes I'll skip because it's heavy. It's kind of heavy, and that song's sort of like a tribute to Common, a tribute to hip hop. It's a song where he's like personifying hip hop. He's making hip hop sound like it's a woman who he once loved and how she's changed, and it hits me. It's one of those songs that when I listen to it, I cry. So sometimes I'm like, oh God, I'm not in the mood to cry. Speaking of songs that make me cry, okay, let me just get through the rest of these. We got What If, After I Love Her Again, Quick Stop, which is sort of singing in there, and The Whole World is DeVille, and then Ocean Way. Ocean Way is basically he's singing the whole time, basically. But speaking of songs that make me cry about Kendrick Lamar, it's no question. Like I Googled after that, I discovered that Mother I Sober song. I forgot what that song's about. I think it's about abuse, some kind of childhood trauma abuse. But after I listened to that song, I actually Googled Kendrick Lamar songs that make you cry. And Google named like 3 or 4 different songs, I think. And Mother I Sober was one of them. Poetic Justice was not on the list, but Poetic Justice made me cry. But there's a few songs that Kendrick Lamar made that is undisputable through Google that made me cry, right? That make people cry generally, right? I did the same search for J. Cole. J. Cole has a catalogs. By comparison, you have to like, he has like endless amounts of songs for multiple different occasions: grief, celebration, family, love, loss, all of it. J. Cole is the rapper that writes music that makes you cry, and Google knows it. Like, Google could not sort it out. He's like, okay, how do you want me to sort this out for you? Because there's too many to just name right now. So, yeah, there's that. I love J. Cole for that. Let me just get into my stats, and then that'll be the end of this podcast. So, what day is it? Today's the 29th, the last day of June. So I'm going to read my stats for last week, June 22nd through June 28th. I hope my sound quality isn't terrible. My top artists for June 22nd through June 28th, these are the top 5. We have J. Cole at number 1, of course, Drake at number 2, Dreamville at number 3, Future and Burna Boy at 4 and 5. All those artists are on the fall off. Oh, you know another song? When I love this song, the whole album, For Your Eyes Only, is actually a low-key masterpiece in and of itself. But For Your Eyes, the song For Your Eyes Only, is one of those songs where, God, every time I hear it, I fucking cry. So it's a high skippable song for me, because I'm not in the mood to like just like feel it all the time. So I'll skip For Your Eyes Only when it comes on. And there's another one too that's on that album. That whole album is just like a tearjerker. The man knows how to move you lyrically, okay? And I'm like, I don't even be trying to be moved sometimes. I'm like, God damn, what did he say? What did he say? He's talking about, people who've gotten killed and all. Man, J. Cole he's very talented. My favorite rapper, the GOAT. Okay, so the top songs for the week of June 22nd to June 28th. Number 1 was Safety, of course. It's been my banger the last couple weeks. Number 1 was Safety with 34 plays. Number 2 was Bombs in the Ville / Hit the Gas with 33 plays. Number 3, Window Pane from KOD. You guys, KOD and all of his albums are like fucking great. All of his albums are good, but Window Pane came back up in my rotation this week, and I played it 25 times. It's my top 3 song for the week. Great fucking song. Made me cry. Makes me cry. I actually started a playlist of J. Cole songs that made me cry. So far, most of them are from the fall off. But Window Pane's up in there. Apparently from 2014, Forest Hills Drive is on there. For Your Eyes Only is on there. Okay, so my 4th top listening song for this week was 39 Intro with 12 plays, and number 5 was Who the Fuck Is You with 12 plays. All right, thank you guys for listening. I know it's been long. Appreciate it. Enjoy this clip, and I'll see you guys next week. It looks like I haven't made a recording since I got back into Georgia. I don't know what a 𝘗𝗵𝗶𝘀 IPA is, but I'm about to crack it open anyway. Cheers. Oh, not bad. Compliments of my job. This is going to be the pre-podcast. It's Tuesday fucking night. I remembered that I have to make a podcast tomorrow. I have to post a podcast tomorrow, which means I need to record it tonight. Otherwise, I'd be posting it before work, early in the morning. I have to be work at 7 o'clock tomorrow or after work. I don't know what time I'm getting off work tomorrow. Probably same time, 7 o'clock tomorrow night. I don't really have any notes. I have them all scrambled. I kind of have an idea. I have a couple questions. One on Facebook, a couple from the anonymous app. I want to talk about my accident, yada, yada, yada. I just kind of want to vent real quick about this homeboy. I wasn't going to vent about him at all because he doesn't deserve that much. My car is running right now. Kind of a dick move that I don't have a brake light. Because I can't really go anywhere at night. I had to leave my dog tied up outside of work. Luckily, it's Tuesday. It's a slow day. No one was here. But I can't do that shit every fucking day. It's 93 degrees outside. It is burning hot in my fucking car. I had a little tiny ant infestation yesterday because I was parked at a Walmart for like maybe an hour at the most, and then ants decided to move in. I went through a whole bottle of Windex and a whole roll and a half of paper towels, murdering all the fucking ants. And there's still some, I'm sure, probably hiding somewhere, but I haven't seen any today, but I don't want to speak too soon. Yeah, there was a crazy infestation all in my front seat. It was very disturbing. I barely could sleep. I don't think it had anything to do with what I did, but everything to do with where I was parked. And maybe there is a leak. Maybe there is a leak and they came in somehow through wherever I was parked at. A whole bunch of ants just came fucking in. I'm feeling like it's more on my driver's side, because that's where most of them were at when I killed them. There's some kind of leak. I don't know. Either that or there's a nest. And now I'm like super paranoid. Any little piece of hair that touches me, I'm like, yeah, I was getting bit by ants yesterday. It was kind of disturbing. Kind of fucked up. But anyway, I hardly even want to bitch about homeboy from work, because it's only going to lead me personally. It's just going to lead me to a better version of myself. A solution to make it a pleasant work environment. Here's the thing. As of right now, I'm keeping like my energetical 6 feet from this motherfucker, because when I get within 6 feet energetically of this guy, I'm not talking about my physical 6 feet. I'm talking about my energy. My energy spreads out. So I need to be quite some feet away from this guy. Let's just say like 100 feet for my energy to not touch his energy in any way. Then he comes at me. He's one of those people that needs to be telling someone what to do, and he picks on the weakest fucking person. And he thinks I'm weak because I don't speak with like bass in my voice, and I don't like cuss, and I don't, showboat and shit. But I'm 36 years old. I don't know if he knows that I'm a grown-ass fucking woman. I don't know if he knows that I have plenty of work experience, and the last thing I need is you really telling me anything. I know the real, what do they call it? There's levels to this. Chain of command. I know the real chain of command. I know the real rules of work. And you don't come into some place, regardless of what title you have, and act the way that you act. And the fact that he acts the way that he acts, it lets me know that he thinks more about himself than what actually is, number one. And he thinks that his position, his title, makes him entitled to treat people any way that he wants to. He has an overinflated sense of himself, and he hasn't figured out the secret to life yet. Like, there are kids who have figured out the secret to life, which is treating people how you want to be treated. He treats people how he thinks that he deserves to treat people because he has some kind of title. And I don't care. He looks like he's older than me. That's just kind of a damn shame. My heart rate goes up when I talk to this guy. Whenever he comes in and interacts with me, it's best for him to just leave me the fuck alone, really. It's best for me to just be invisible around him, because I'm not about to walk out and lose my job and tell fool about himself. He's not going to go off and swing on me. And I know that he doesn't really have any authority to fire me. But I do have an authority to tell him about himself, regardless of what authority place he's in. They just said that in the meeting. He's lucky I don't get petty and get little Bonnie Fufu, whatever her fucking name is, and get all sappy girly with her.
And so they can have like a coaching with his ass and have a record on file with his ass. No, what I'm gonna, like, I can be petty and do that. I can get it on the record that he made me uncomfortable. I'm gonna chop it up to, this is his first month. This is his first cycle. He's obviously, he has a deal with working with women or working with quiet people or whatever. Like, I literally just do my job, mind my own fucking business. If you're cool with me, I'm really fucking cool. The only person who doesn't think I'm cool is the person that actually no one thinks is cool. It's funny how he's the only person who's got beef with me, but everybody's got beef with him. You playing a game that you can't win, baby. Because you have a shitty attitude. Making me cry. This dude made me cry at work. And it's not that I even wanted to. It's just that I've been so not used to people raising their voice at me. He was raising his voice. He was doing hand gestures, moving his hands around. Very uncomfortable body language. His eye was twitching. His fucking eye was twitching when I asked him to calm down. This dude made me fucking cry. It just triggered something in me, and I just couldn't even help. I couldn't even hold it back. I just fucking started crying at work. The reality is I'm an emotional being, number one. I can face that reality. But there's also a part of the reality that he needs to face, which is you're kind of a fucking wet blanket, bro. You're kind of a bummer. You make us very unproductive and on edge. There's something about your energy that is off-putting, that makes me feel very uncomfortable and highly just on edge. My heart rate should not be going when I'm doing my fucking job. A simple fucking job that I've done 100 million times before. I don't care what kind of degrees you have. I don't care if you went to college. You also need to respect that I've also done this a million fucking times as well. Number one. And number two, you treat people how you want to be treated. He wants to get some results out of me. The best thing that he can do is speak to me softly. You better fucking soften your tone when you fucking talk to me, bro. Check your fucking tone. Speak to me softly. Say please and thank you. Give a fuck. Just give a fuck about anyone but yourself, then you'll get a result out of me. It was all fine and dory until you came at me. Honestly, you can be whoever you want to be outside of my energy. But when you come into my energy, you better check your fucking tone. You better say please and fucking thank you. I'm not gonna fight love with your fucking energy. I will just leave you alone. I will fight a logic. I will fight logically, which means I will take it to the fucking top. Don't fucking play with me. I will take it to the top. And that's really all I needed to vent about. He picks on me. I know he picks on me. It's his part of his programming. He can't help it. So as long as I physically avoid him, I will not go off on him. What I need to do really is learn how to be within his energy and not go off on him. But I don't get really paid enough to be playing a therapist. That's because what he really requires is a fucking therapist. Is for someone to care about him. But how can you get people to care about you when you clearly don't care about them? You come in and you talk to people the way you do. You hardly say hello or good morning, and you're barking orders as soon as you walk in. What are you doing? Why are you doing it that way? What are you looking for? Bro was telling me that he was like, that's risotto. When I pulled the pan out just to look at it, and he's like, that's risotto. And I was like, what about it? And he was like, that's what you were looking at. And I was like, okay. I didn't ask you what I was looking at. Shut the fuck up. Did it ever occur to you that maybe I have my own train of thought? And every time you come in and interrupt it, you break my train of thought and you make me look like a fucking idiot? All you want is labor pains, and I'm just trying to get this baby out. Every time I try and give a little push, you're just like, oh, where's the baby? Where's the fucking baby? Could you give it a fucking minute? Baby ain't even fucking born yet. And you're causing me more fucking stress during the whole fucking process. Highly unproductive, anxiety-inducing, highly uncomfortable energy is what I feel around him. I'm really fucking sorry. I'm gonna let him just get his own self fired. I could be petty, but I'm gonna let him get his own self fired. Just stay the fuck away from my energy. I don't need to be your therapist. I really fucking don't. I don't need to care about someone who doesn't care about other people. I don't. You're too grown. You're too grown to be acting the way that you are, treating people the way that you do, and expecting people to still just show up for you just because. You're keeping yourself in this perpetual state of victimhood. I can just tell by your energy. You play victim perpetually. You bring it upon yourself. You treat people like shit, and then you get mad at people, or you hold people accountable for treating you like shit. So before people even get a chance to treat you like shit, you start treating them like shit. And then you go around and talk about nobody fucking treats me with respect. You don't earn your respect. Fuck you mean? You never earned your respect. Every single person says hi to me. No one gives a fuck if I'm wearing a chef coat, whatever my credentials are, whatever my degrees are. Everybody in the fucking building says hi to me. People avoid you like the fucking plague. I don't even go in the walk-in when he's in the walk-in, bro. I don't go anywhere he is at. I keep my head on a swivel. Peripheral is on fucking 100,000 whenever he's around. Oh, and no smiling. No having a good time. No having loud conversations. It's not like he's going to actually make an input that'll benefit the conversation. No, he's just going to ask some stupid fucking questions and tell you something that you already fucking knew, or insert himself in some fucking way. His toxic masculinity is like spilling out outside of himself. He's probably on steroids. Probably on that juice is what Drew said. He's probably on that fucking juice. I gotta make this funky ass fucking podcast, and I'm kind of not in the mood for it. Kind of not in the mood. We'll see how that sounds. I love you.